Church is not a business. You cannot start a church even if you wanted to, unless you are called by God. Wizkid schooled as he desires to open a church. Controversial media personality Regha takes on the task of educating Wizkid after the singer's comment about considering opening a church. As you may remember, Wizkid previously claimed that he could potentially establish a church if he decided to do so. In response to the assertion, Regha criticized Wizkid's statement, emphasizing that church is not a business venture and one cannot simply start unless they are genuinely called by God. The prominent critic clarified the distinction between a social gathering and a religious congregation, highlighting his consistent endorsement of Jesus as King while also criticizing Christianity. His words, and I quote, Wizkid, church is not a business. You cannot start a church even if you wanted to unless you are called by God. There's a difference between a get-together and religious gathering. Every time you post Jesus is King, but then make money of Christianity, you won't disrespect other religions like this. And the thing is, I don't see all this on Wizkid they talk, where people they condemn. You go see people where could they go to church if you open her. You get some people where their own and I don't know what then they find. But this is what they tell you, go see people where they go to church. If more open church. This is why I will always say having a personal relationship with God everywhere you are is key. It's key. You will not be easily be deceived. You will not be easily swayed. Christianity is a business-oriented religion. Go ahead and still make more money. If he had called you, go ahead and build church, then resort to gospel music. God will use you mightily because God looks at heart and is a protocol breaker. Now let me even say this. Let me say this. Wizkid as a person, what's it called, said, no, Regha say, except God call you. Then how many people God don't call? Can you differentiate people where God call for their church and where God no call? You cannot. You understand? You can't. Though some those tell you that their signs are visible, some even marks it so well. Yes. Some marks it so well that you don't even get to know whether naturally God called this person or no be God call him. Private Pentecostal churches are business. If anybody with cash can start one and call him or herself a pastor. Wizkid, just give your life to Christ. Who knows? God might have ordained you a minister of the gospel from a mother's womb. It's God who does all things as he wills. He can use anybody. Well, I don't think he's wanted to... whatever Wizkid is saying, I think is related to making money. That is all. He's saying it because of how they don't turn church to be. Yes, no? How they don't turn Christianity. Which they don't turn Christianity into. Building a standard universal school and hospital, then you are good to go. Somebody say Church of Satan or Church of Wizkid or which one? Okay. Guys, please stop acting like you are Jesus' uncle or senior brother. Jesus said I will build my church. So it is not by any man's power to build the church. God alone has the power to build his church. The physical building is a place where people gather to worship God. So if Wizzy is having a list to build a physical building for people to go and worship, who can't be you to say no first? You don't get money to stop, and secondly, no be you get church. You should stop acting holier than others. Mosque is not a business center. It is a place of worship. Even if you build, okay, let him go and open mosque. They are now saying mosque is not a business center, it's a place of worship. Even if you build a mosque, you don't own the mosque and your family cannot inherit the mosque. Unlike church that you can inherit as your family property. Anybody can open a church, but not all God dwells. Yes, not every church get this thing inside. We Christians believe that God created us so he can use any of his child for his divine purpose. Let us remember the story of Saul before being converted to Paul. Has Wizkid ever told anyone he has accepted Jesus and is born again? Anyway, it is people like you that attend church of Satan. If you don't have a direction, you fall for anything. You don't understand the meaning of born again. The true born again is not the Pentecostal churches born again. I'm not going to say, what's it called? It's not because what he sees around. That is even causing him to even say these things. Believe you me, it is what he sees around. It is what he sees around. I believe that church Wizkid will open must be a Yuri church. Wizkid is a Muslim and properly mocking the church by that statement. We must all account for any careless word that comes out of our mouths. Well, I'm not going to see that Wizkid, if Wizkid can't come outside, can't say something about Islam. I know so then go drag and for him. Everybody is called according to the Bible. That is the only assignment biblical Jesus gave to his followers. Read again and understand the content of the post. The poster said if you are not called, you cannot start a church. Everybody is called to preach the gospel, not to hold the ministry. If you are not called, you cannot hold church ministry. And if you go ahead to do it, my dear, anything we like you see, you take. I like this guy called Wizkid. The guy is smart, I swear. Really? Churches are owned by a smart guy for some well-kept secret. God Almighty will use you to preach the gospel very soon. Oh, okay. God cannot be mocked. All the rubbish things some of you are talking about. Apologies, but I am sorry. Just like what Regha said, when you are called by God, you can build a church. But me, I want to tell us, Shane, I know say no be only people where they call the beauty. Get people say God no call, now they even call themselves. Are you aware of this? That is called the church. That it is called the church doesn't make it holy. Synonyms of a church are cult, fraternity, etc. Definition of church is a social gathering of persons with safe belief and understanding. A church is not a building or a holy house, but most persons' mindsets have been conditioned to believe that a church is a holy building. No, it is. Of course, the church is not a holy building, okay? God can use you, bro, but hear God first, not people. There was a prophecy concerning Wizkid years back that he will be used by God to sing gospel songs. Maybe it will soon come to pass. Then I sabi you. God ways are past to finding out he can use anything for anyone to make a name for himself. As he said, that the wealth of a Gentile shall be converted to the righteous. Who knows if he wants to use the wealth of this Gentile to be the place of worship where genuine Christians will worship. Then I sabi. Wait, making open one fine church. If it will not be filled. Yes, that's what I'm saying. If he opens the church today, believe you me, he go full. Sharp. You go full sharp. I'm telling you, people they come outside say and making open church until then call her. My dear, you go surprise you. Say those people that then go first go. Then we go first be new member serve for the church. Alright, on this note, you have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen until I come your way next time. Enjoy.